Hey folks, Lee here once again. Welcome back to another Batman animated review. And I have been on phase 3 of my Batman marathon, which is the Batman animated movies. Just Batman standalone movies, no, with him teaming up with Superman or Justice League. Even though he wasn't the Death of Superman movie, I forgot to mention, he wasn't after that, still a Superman film. But anyway, hope you enjoyed my review of Batman Year 1 that is up on my YouTube channel right now. So I hope y'all enjoyed that. And I'm going to do one more review for tonight. And this movie is, of course, a two-part movie. But first I'm going to start with part 1. This webcam. Anyway. And of course, tonight I'm reviewing the first part came out in 2012, and that is based on the comic book that came out in 1986, I believe, that was written by and created by Frank Miller, and that is Batman: The Dark Knight Returns, Part 1. Our TG Special Edition, where the other period of DC's next movie, Dark Knight Returns Part 2, Batman and Me, the Bob Kane story feature, the story of Bob Kane and his life, and how he created Batman and all that, him and Bill Finger. TG Special Edition of the movie. Our heroes never die, they just get darker. Yep, really cool. Yeah. I have seen the whole full movie in 2 parts, and it's longer. I have some cool pictures of them. I don't know where, but maybe someday I'll have to show them to you guys. But anyway, but Batman Dark Knight Returns, let's get on with the review, I guess. And this is a direct-to-video film, a 2-part film. And like I said, it is based on the comic book of the same name, The Dark Knight Returns. Basically, Frank Miller created it because you had the Batman 60s television series. So, in the 70s, Batman was kind of drifting away from that. So I guess he came up with the idea of the comic in the 80s of making the Dark Knight Returns, which basically was Bruce Wayne, who's like 55 years old, and he's basically retired from fighting crime as Batman until, he can't take it anymore. And he basically returns to being Batman, facing new enemies like the Mutant Leader, the Joker, and Superman. Yeah, and Two-Face as well. Part 1 was released on September 25th, 2012. Part 2 was released on January 29th. A deluxe edition combining both movies together was released on October 8th, 2013. And this is also the 15th film of the DC Universe animated version of movies. Part 1 and Part 2 are 76 minutes long, but the deluxe edition, keeping the movies together, is 152 minutes long. The voice cast of the movie is it's directed by Jay Olive, it's written by Bob Goodman, based on Dark Knight Returns, created by Frank Miller and Klaus Janson. It's edited by Christopher D. Lux, music is by Christopher Drake, it's distributed by Warner Home Video. For Part 1, for the voice cast of Part 1, you have Peter Weller as Bruce Wayne, Batman. Peter Weller, you should know him for RoboCop, so, he's great in him. Ariel Winter as Carrie Kelly, Robin. David Selby as Commissioner James Gordon. Wade Williams as Harvey Dent, Two-Face. Michael Erbsen as the Joker. D. Bradley Baker as Don. Maria Canasperla as Commissioner Ellen Yildo. Wendell Yeo as Lola Chang. Paige Brewster as Longline, Carrie Kelly's mother. Gary DeLise as Angerman Carla. Ray Richard Doyle as the mayor of Gotham City. Michael Jackson, not that Michael Jackson, as Alfred Pennyworth. Yor LaRue as the Sons of Batman. Michael McCain as Dr. Bartholomew. He worked with DC before. Dr. Bartholomew Wolper. Michael McCain, he was in Smallville, I think in season 4, an episode called Perry, where he was Perry White in that. The origins of Clark Kent before, the younger days of Clark Kent before he was Superman. James Patrick Stewart as Murray. James Arnold Taylor as Mr. Hudson. Spud. Bruce Timm as Thomas Wayne. Frank Welker as Deputy Mayor Stevenson. Gary Anthony Williams as Immediate Leader. Bob Paulson as Rob. Alright. But pretty much tell you the story of the movie, of what Batman Dark Knight Returns Part 1 is about, Part 2 is about, is that it has been 10 years since Bruce Wayne has since he's been Batman, and he's retired, he's like 55 years old, and eventually, he just can't take it no more, and he eventually goes back to don the cape and cowl and become Batman once again. And this is an older Batman, so he's in his late 50s. A bit slower, but he faces it, like I said, against the Joker and Two-Face and Superman in here. Basically, he's trying to fight justice again for the city, donning the cape, because Gotham has gone back to being riddled by crime, and crime's taking over, and it's just to the point where Bruce Wayne just cannot help but to put the cape back on and be who he really is, that is, Batman. So, that's pretty much the story for you. Okay, I'll go into Part 1. Alright, so Batman Dark Knight The Dark Knight Returns Part 1, here we go. Movie opens up, well, you get the news media sometimes talking on TV, talking about how bad Gotham has gone, and talking about, Batman hasn't been seen for like 10 years. Something like that, and of course Bruce is retired, 55 years old, and he's dealing with the death of Jason Todd. And the city, Gotham is going back to kind of being corrupt. Well, it's being handled by crime, and they're being. You have new criminals in town called the Munits. Bruce Wayne is a bit of a recluse, or, I would say recluse, yeah, because you see him do this race in the beginning of the movie. He's doing this race, and this one is trying to talk on the radio, telling him to slow it down, but Bruce won't listen. It's like he's determined to kill himself, he just is miserable, and, so she's like, Bruce, turn it down, and Bruce turns the radio up, and like, oops, didn't know that happened. The car wrecks, is flipped in through, but Bruce is able to jump out to safety in time, to get out in time, before anything bad happens to him. And you see that he has a friendship with James Gordon, who originally knows that he's, Batman now. I guess he told him sometime. He's like, and Bruce has also been drinking a lot of alcohol, has become an alcoholic. They try to talk to him about, how old times have been. And you also find out that Gordon is getting ready to retire. He's like 70 years old now, and he's getting to retire as commissioner of GCPD. You know, give up his badge for good. Yeah. And you know, I like the scene where Bruce is just walking home, and the music about Chris Rodriguez is really good, very memorable. And you know, you see Bruce walking in a city that's just like gone downhill, and you know, even him going to a subway, and you know, seeing something about parents being murdered. Okay, but not his parents, but it flashes back to that memory. And these mutants, you know, try to attack him. Let's slice and dice the old man. And Bruce is like, come on, bring it. And like, he's not scared, he's not into it, so they don't do it. And you even see Bruce, you know, who has like nightmares of his parents' death, of his, you know, of the bat when he was a boy, when he fell into the cave. And this reason I say this is better than the Dark Knight trilogy. I know, a golf topic, but this is, to me, is my Dark Knight trilogy. You know, this movie and part 2. Because Batman has a better reason. Bruce has a reason to retire. He's 55 years old. He's getting up there in age, and his body really can't just take more of the pressure anymore. You know, and you feel like he's, you know, this Batman's been through a lot of failures. You know, he's ups and downs. He's been through a lot. You can tell he's been through a lot. You know, and Dark Knight Rises, which came out the same year as this, he hasn't been through that much. No, he hasn't. Oh, because what happened to Two-Face? Oh my God, this Batman had a lot more happen to him. You know, it's more believable. He's not even walking on a cane, and he's 55 years old. He don't even need a cane to walk. You know, he just feels the brutal and pains a little bit, but that's it. But he's still getting up there in age. You know, and I like the scene where Bruce goes down to the Batcave after this nightmare, wakes up Alfred. Alfred's up in his 70s, I would say, and you know, I guess you can say, you know, they retired the Batcave too by putting all these white sheets all over everything. That Bruce opens one and sees the Robin cape, you know, and basically the crime of the city is that Bruce is like watching TV at nighttime or whatever, and seeing all the crime that's happening, he flips through the channel over and over again, and he starts having, you know, it starts torturing him and tormenting him, and he can't really take it anymore. And he's like, I'm not done yet. I can still do this, you know. And of course, he takes up the mantle of being Batman again. But you also find out that Harvey Dent, that his face has been fixed, that he's on over Two-Face, and he's asking for a second chance. But like I said, the whole thing with Bruce being Batman now, he says, come, and he sees the bat once again, and eventually goes back to being Batman. You have some lady almost being, you know, maybe going to be raped by this mutant, and Batman like sneaks and grabs him. He gives pimp beating his lady up, beating his prostitute up. Batman like breaks his hand and beats him up, and then, you know, he gives the cab driver money, but Batman knocks on the door. The cab driver takes the money, rips it apart, and you know, Batman is back and scanning the criminals. And eventually, you know, you got these 3 criminals trying to run, and Batman's chasing them, and one who knew, you know, cop who knows that he's been Batman for a long time was like, and he's got a rookie with him, like, that's Batman. You got a surprise kid. And Batman tells these cops, these 3 are mine. And then the rookie wants to do it, and the other guy like, no, rookie, don't do it. You know, Batman is trying to get a rope to climb, and he can't do it. Just because of his age, can't climb up to the cave. I mean, to the balcony, they able to hear him, but he's able to kind of use the floors and took his advantage to take down the criminals down, and beats this one guy up, breaks his bones, and you think one guy's about to chase him up. This other cop that knows Batman tries to stop him, and he tells that cop officer, let Gordon know I need to talk to him. He's like, okay, Bats. And some people are happy that he's back, after hearing about him. And, even the news lady, somebody says that he nearly looks like Dracula, or a vampire, and smiles. Dr. Whippler is this Bartholomew Whippler. He's a psychiatrist that believes Batman is terrible, that Batman's created all these psychopaths, and that he's the bad one. But however, Dent goes back to being Two-Face. He's masking his face up because on the criminal he caught, he's able to get the coin and realize Two-Face is up to something. Talks to Gordon, Then they talk about, what Two-Face is planning, why he's Scarface. Did he do something to himself? Did his darker side take over? Because you see his coin's got two heads now, so did he do something or damage his face? Because he's got these wrappers on his face, kind of like a mummy. Dan eventually, is going to blow up the city for ransom. Batman talks to the guy that he beat, that the cop let out of jail, and Batman's like, well, I'm here to get you now, I'm here to talk to you. I'll take you to the hospital, but you better tell me everything you know about Two-Face. Tells him Two-Face's plan. So Batman goes to Two-Face, confronts him, sneaks around his man, airport, the smoke. He'll use some kind of fear gas, I guess he puts in it, because it scares one criminal, and Batman eventually, is able to stop one of the bombs. Because Two-Face lied to you. And I thought it was awesome Batman taking these guys down. I forgot to mention Batman saves Carrie Kelly, who, she becomes new Robin in here. But her and her friend are talking or whatever, I go over my reviews. And they get up at these meetings until Batman, three of them until Batman shows up. That's when I was in the dark beating him up, And Batman just, glides with his cape, throws the guy on top of the roof nearly, and gets him electrocuted. And they just, that was awesome. But anyway, back to Two-Face. Two-Face, is shooting at Batman from a helicopter, but Batman grabs onto Two-Face falling, and Batman grabs him. They fall, in a building window, and Two-Face tries to shoot him, and he's Batman gets him. He's like, why are you hiding your face, Dan? He's like, the two sides are connected now somewhat. The Two-Faces, after what the doctor did him, he's still Two-Face face, and then Harvey Dent face. He's like, go ahead, have your good laugh. I guess I can't really run from who I am. And Batman's like, I know the feeling. Eventually, though, Carrie Kelly, she's, encouraged by Batman, so she buys herself a Robin costume, puts it on, and sneaks out of her parents' house. Tries to go in a pipe, down a fire escape. She goes in this pipe and nearly falls. She tries to save this couple who thinks they're going to be attacked by a murderer, but the murderer just walking behind her is like, leave me alone, I'm just trying to make a living. And the people she tries to save, they just walk away, she's like, you're welcome. And pretty much the Munich gang leader, this Munich leader, tries to take over Gotham. He's like, I will kill Commissioner Gordon and give his hair around the city. I will kill Batman and take him down once for all. We are the Munichs. We are in power. We are in control. So the Munich gang, they gather at this place. Batman has a tank like Batmobile. I know I complained about that in the Dark Knight trilogy, but hey, and here this tank looks like a real tank and it looks really cool. Batman uses rubber bullets and starts fighting with them. They try to attack it. Batman's able to get them off. It's rubber bullets. Eventually Batman confronts the Munich leader in a hand-to-hand combat because the Munich is like, Batman, you coward, you come confront me. You come fight me, you come face me, you coward. And Alfred's like, no, Batman, don't, Master Bruce, don't do it. He's in his prime, he'll kill you. Because immediately he's a big buff guy, and he really knows how to fight, so he'd be a hard fight for Batman, but Batman's like, okay, son, show me. And Batman tries to fight him. And just the fights in here are really awesome. This was a better fight than The Dark Knight Rises with Batman and Bane, because it's a real brutal fight. Batman does get a few punches in there. Gang leader knocks him down and kicks Batman in the face. Batman's like, you slow, old man. you know. And, you know, he breaks bones in Batman's body. Batman's just all bloodied up. And Batman's able to, you know, even get a good punch on him. But immediately chases him down, is almost ready to kill Batman. So, you know, well, Carrie shows up, you know, Robin shows up, and she blinds him, you know. And I was okay with Robin being a girl, because that was from the comic. I would say she's probably the fourth Robin, yeah. Yeah, not counting Damian Wayne. But anyway, Batman throws his stuff on his face or whatever, and it just, you know, it's like glue or something. I don't know what it is, but it like blinds him, takes him down. So she takes Batman, you know, it says to, like, hold on to him, they walk, and then he tells her that his name is Bruce. I was like, Master Bruce, you don't know what you're doing, you know. And tells him who she is too, and that he could use a new partner. And even though Batman's injured, he goes to Bruce, you know, he takes all his suit off and says, you're not finished with me, you're never finished with me, you're never gonna be. And sees the giant bat, and eventually that gives him his strength back. I also liked it when Carrie was messing with the bat computer, and after us said not to touch it, and like, where's he going? He's like, to get his strength back, and Bruce does. And he plans to take on Mutilator again. Bruce says, well, this time I failed because I'm underestimated. This time I gotta be smart, I gotta be prepared to take him down. So she disguises herself as a Mutilator. So she spreads the word of a meeting at the Gotham Pipe, you know, because they have this weird way of talking. And that works, you know, taking off her mask and stuff. Batman rages, the Mutilator escapes, so the mayor attempts to negotiate with the Mutilator himself, by himself, even though Gordon's going there with him, but he wants to, his poll numbers go up. Eventually that ends for him because the Mutilator kills him in the cell, just bites his face probably and murders him, or I don't know, bites his neck, but you see a lot of blood. Mutilator, you know, smiling, blood down his face after killing the mayor, and then the new mayor's talking. And, you know, I see where Jim Gordon is getting ready to retire, and he's talking to Captain Ellen Yellen, whatever her name is, and she doesn't know how he could trust Batman. Well, then let's not talk about Batman, he says. You know, I like when Gordon talks about Pearl Harbor, and says that, you know, maybe one day you'll have a good reason to trust Batman like I did. Because there was a time maybe he didn't trust Batman, but it's grown to trust him over the years, and become friends with him. Him and Batman are, you know, and I would say he's like a father figure to Bruce, you know. Gordon then accidentally lets the Mutilator out of his cage, and he goes to follow down the vents, and goes down to the pipe. Batman pushes him. He's like, Batman, where are you? He's like, I'm gonna show you if I can kill you. I can show you. Batman's like, go ahead, son, show me. And Batman's like, well, we're in the mud. We fight slower this time. So, you know, Batman, let's just say, smart enough to level the playing field where he can take on the Mutilator in a fight, you know, his way, to level the playing field. And, you know, Batman, like, does his punch in his head that makes him bleed, does his other punch to knock him out. And Batman's like, this isn't a fighting ring. This is an operation table, and I'm the surgeon. You know, Batman breaks his hand, his arm, grabs his arm, breaks his arm, and just beats the shit out of him. And then the mutants look at him, and they become the sons of Batman. Some of them disband the smaller gangs or just run away. And they work to purge crime with Gotham with questionable methods, but do it Batman's way. Ellen Yendel, though, her intentions are to, of course, arrest Batman, apprehend him as soon as she becomes commissioner. And then, you know, the sad part was for me, seeing Gordon just leaves that office, grab his stuff. He's seen his name, he's taking off his office, and just leaving the GCPD. You've been having this catatonic patient, who's been, catatonic, that is the Joker, and you see that, he gets happy because, then the Joker, who's catatonic for over 10 years, comes back because he's like this, Batman, darling, as a small, and then part one ends there. So, yeah. This movie is awesome. That's all I can say. I have more to say. Hold on. I love this movie. This movie is great. One of the best Batman movies ever made. To me, this and part two are the Dark Knight trilogy. Because at least, unlike in this, Dark Knight Rises, you get Batman a lot more. Yes. You have Batman a lot in this movie. I felt like you had a lot of Batman in this movie. He is the focus of the story. He is. And I like seeing an older Batman who, there's times in the movie where he's even kind of bringing his back, but Batman fights in here. The action is really good. The story is great, though. Seeing, 55-year-old Bruce Wayne becoming Batman once again. And even though he's older, he's still a badass. He's still awesome. He's still intimidating. When he interrogates somebody, he's scary. Peter Weller makes this older Batman sound scary and intimidating. The fight with the Mutilator was awesome. The action scenes were the action is awesome. And I love the new Robin. I love, the Kelly character of Robin. I'm okay with the female Robin. I thought that was interesting. Because we had Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, Tim Drake, and now we have Carrie Kelly. So, yeah. I don't know which one Robin she is, but she's a good Robin. And I like the other voice cast as well. Harry Winter voices Sarah Michael. The one that voices out Pennyworth does a good job. Voice cast is really good in the movie. I think the voice cast is really good. The animation, the music score is very good. I would say memorable, yeah, really good. Especially some bits and pieces where Bruce is going to heal up at the Batcave. It's just such good music. Very memorable, and it really puts chills down my spine. And when this music pops up, like Christopher Drake is really good. Jay Olivey, he did a really good job directing this. This is part one and part two. Yeah. Despite that, the animation in part one is good. I like the story of the Mutants. The Mutilator, they were different villains. Mutilator, because, they had so many Batman villains like the Joker, the Riddler, the Penguin, and all that. That we've seen many times. It's nice to have some new villains that he goes up against in here. But in part two, you do get, and it's cool to see Two-Face once again. I like seeing his face emerge twice. He's got both faces of Harvey Dent and Two-Face together. But then in part two, you do get Joker and Superman. So as soon as Joker wakes up, from his catatonic state, he will definitely go up against Batman. But the animation, I think, is great in here. I love the animation. The pacing is really good. And this is, again, Batman. It is dark. There is blood in here. This is pretty brutal for a movie, The violence and action is intense, I would say, and it's very good. It's Batman, it's dark. When we first see Batman, when he's chasing the criminals, the cops see him, you get the nice shot that was from the comic of Batman flying up in the air, jumping up in the air. That was cool. Yeah, and you see Batman coming back after so many long works. It works here than Dark Knight Rises, because Dark Knight Rises, Bruce had no reason to retire. He was way too young. And he had a good reason for retiring. He got older. Again, like I said, when he's trying to climb up the rope, and he's like, that's just him getting older, him aging. But again, that's what I love about Batman, Bruce Wayne, is that Batman is who he is, and he can't really just deny that. He really just couldn't help but to put the cape and cowl on, because that's who he is. Batman, like I said, even Kim Conroy said it, and the late Kim Conroy said it, Batman in his heart is who he is, And I do think they do good at that, and we will be continuing these reviews, though, with, of course, Part 2. So, but anyway, guys, Batman Dark Knight Returns Part 1, one of the best Batman films ever made, in my opinion. Dark Knight Returns, both parts are awesome, but I'll give this Part 1. Batman Dark Knight Returns Part 1, I will give a thumbs up, and my rating for this film is 5 out of 5 stars. Tell me, guys, in the comments down below, have you seen Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 1? What do you think of it, in your opinion? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Do you agree with me, or do you disagree with me? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Tell me in the comments down below, what do you think of Batman Dark Knight Returns Part 1? And my rating, once again, is 5 out of 5 stars and a thumbs up. I have no issues with it. It's very memorable. It's a good story, good action. Plenty of Batman in here. And, just a really good story. So, very awesome movie. Peter really knocks it out of the park. So, I can't know it. And animation, I think, is good. For 2012 and 2013, animation is really good. And it's dark, and it's brutal. So, how much more can you ask for if you want a dark Batman movie? It's what you get in here, and a good story as well. If you want a great Batman story, Dark Knight Returns definitely give you that. But anyway, guys, next, I'm not going to do another Batman review today. I'm just too tired. So in the morning, I'm going to review the next one. The next Batman animated review. Next, I'll be reviewing Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. Like I said, separate videos. Yeah, I'm not watching 152 minutes of this movie. I'm really just watching it in several parts. Oh yeah. Some of the pictures that they have, promotional pictures they have, is awesome. DC does really good work with their, artwork, for their characters. The Batman Dark Knight Returns Part 2 is next. So this will be tomorrow morning so tomorrow stay tuned for this next review for Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. And guys, tell me in the comments, once again, what do you think of Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 1? Again, my rating for the film is 5 out of 5 stars. And tell me what you think of Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 1. And I hope you guys look forward to my next review, and that'll be Batman The Dark Knight Returns Part 2. So Part 2 will be tomorrow. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. And have a good night. Stay tuned for tomorrow. Bye-bye. Bye. And I've got some other videos coming tomorrow, too. That is, movies I want to see in 2023. And 3 new trailers that we have for 3 new movies that's coming out next year that I will be giving my thoughts on. Some of them I'm probably going to be mixed on. And one I probably thought was great. The other 2, I don't know about the first one, but I know the last one I'll be talking about probably I probably won't be a fan, but it will just be my thoughts on what I think of these trailers. But that'll be for tomorrow, so stay tuned for that, for those videos tomorrow, and for the Batman Dark Knight Returns Part 2 review tomorrow. So thanks for watching, guys. Like, comment, and subscribe, and have a good night. See you. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Bye.